there's an awful lot of storms beginning to pop up. We can look over there just north of I-20 to our left from the broadcast booth. It is very dark over there. It is not at the moment at all raining here at the Talladega Superspeedway, Jeff. However, there has been some lightning flashes over there just past the 20 freeway, as they say. And unfortunately, if there's lightning within 10 miles of the racetrack, we got to go into a mandatory 30-minute hold. We did that an awful lot at Homestead Miami Speedway last week. Unfortunately, at this very moment, we're having to do it right now.
Yeah, we've seen this play out before, and we saw it a week ago, and we're going to see it right now, Woody. As we look down over turns 1 and 2, we can see the sun is out, big white clouds, some blue sky. We look out over turns 3 and 4, like Alex is pointing out, I-20. We can see the cars and trucks going by out there, and that is where the cause for concern is. And then when we look out back behind us, there's even more moving in. Good news is right now, no rain. Bad news is it's coming. They have covered up all 40 cars that are lined up down on pit road in anticipation of what we can foresee. Now, Alex, once we get under green, we saw a great race yesterday in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and I think we expect nothing less than that today once we do put them under the green flag.
I agree 100%. It is, after all, Talladega. And as our great leader, the late, great Barney Hall, always said, and he quotes, they don't race them anywhere in the world like they do at Talladega, end quote, Barney Hall. And he's exactly right. It is something to behold. It's spectacular when the green flag flies. No matter what time today it does that, we were expecting to see fantastic 3 and maybe even 4 wide racing like we saw in the Xfinity race yesterday. It's going to be a great Geico 500. And I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic. You know that, just like you are. Yeah. I feel good that this storm's going to stay maybe to our north and get on out of here, and we can put race cars on the racetrack. The wind is blowing the big American flag down the infield.
Really now, look at this.
Yes, it is really blowing hard and blowing this big storm that's kind of just to our left behind turns 3 and 4, blowing it away from the racetrack, so that's great news.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, as we can look down now, we can see that the storm is arriving because all of a sudden we have picked up from, what may have been a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. It is gusting hard right now, and yet the storm has not arrived. You're looking at different things. I'm looking at different things. Lightning now flashing off the banking of turn number 4. The flags straight out. Everybody trying to make sure that the easy up tents, if they happen to have one, are secured. We've got a major wind. Now, we'll continue to monitor that, and we don't want to get too far in the weeds on this, Alex, but we do have a different package here at Talladega. It is something that now we're looking down, just trying to give you what we can see here. Some of the crew members right now going out to make sure that the tarps on the cars are secured down because, again, we have significant wind right now. No rain. We do see lightning. Clouds are moving in.
Oh, wow, there's dust blowing and trash cans out in the empty infield that are just rolling across the infield right now.
You know what it reminds me of? Chicagoland.
Yeah.
When we had the major storm blow in there. We're having a major storm blow in here now to Talladega Superspeedway. Hopefully it blows in and blows out just that quick. Back to what we may see. A different rules package. I don't know that if you're watching it on TV or listening to us on the radio or you happen to be one of the lucky fans here in the grandstands that you're going to notice anything significantly different. But there are some differentiations between what we're going to have here today and what we saw here last year.
Yeah, there are 4 major things. First of all, there's been 2 new roll bars added to all these race cars, and that is obviously coming off of the research and what we've been able to learn after Ryan Newman's just brutal crash at the checkered flag of the season opening Daytona 500. So each car has 2 new roll bars added in specific places. They've eliminated the aero ducts at the front of these race cars, and that is to help slow down that closing rate if you're in the draft, because that was some of the problems that they were having. The closing rate at Daytona back in February, the cars were running a good 10, maybe 15 miles an hour faster closing in. Somebody tries to put a block on and there's going to be a big crash. So they've eliminated the aero ducts. They also reduced the throttle body size under the hood of the race car. That's something obviously the fans probably won't know much about, but that is going to help reduce some of the horsepower. And there's about 510 horsepower now here at Talladega, as opposed to the package that we did run, about 550 horsepower. So those are the main things. it's going to drop the speeds down. We haven't had any practice, no qualifying. We will have a competition caution today at lap 25, but it's going to drop the speeds down when they were running around 206 miles an hour here last year to somewhere in the neighborhood of 197-ish is what we're expecting.
When we do go under the green flag, we will be delayed. I don't think there's any doubt in that, but we obviously want you to stay with us because, again, we've not had any rain here yet. We are under a lightning delay. Hopefully it will be something that we saw similar to a week ago. And if we can get this storm to stay to our north, we might be able to get racing sooner than later. When we do, it'll be Truex and Denny Hamlin up there on the front row, and those are two tough competitors to try to get by. We always talk about the fact that, when you're at Talladega, you got just as good a chance of winning as anybody. That's, we don't say that very often. But I'm not so sure that that's true anymore. What do you think? There are some pretty good guys that when they get out front, they're difficult to get by.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's one of the best there is running super speedways, as is Brad Keselowski, as is Joey Logano. There's just a handful of drivers that just seem to just take to it. They have that knack about being able to work the air, work the draft, and put themselves in position at the end of it. Of course, we all know when you race at Talladega, you got to have a little bit of luck on your side as well. But they just seem to have a little bit of everything fall in their place and have success when you race here. There's a lot of drivers that have top 10 finishes that could very well sneak up and win. A Ty Dillon, Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell. Those three drivers, if you look at the record books over the last 7 races, consistent top 10 finishers here, and who knows, they may be able to pull out a win.
Can't wait to put them under the green flag. Hopefully we'll do that sooner than later. Woody Kane, we'll get it back downstairs to you right now and let you continue. The last thing we'll say up here, still no rain, but certainly a lot of lightning right now and wind in the area.
Boy, lightning has been the bane of our existence lately at NASCAR racetracks for sure, so we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully the rain will pass us by and we can get underway just a little bit behind schedule. By the way, we mentioned that Zoom meeting we had with fans earlier who've participated in our hashtag NASCAR tailgate. Keep doing that. Show us what you're seeing and viewing during the race, your cookout setup, your man cave, whatever it may be, and you may be on a future edition of our Zoom parties we're having before each and every race. You can see the most recent one right now at the Motor Racing Network Facebook page. Check us out on Twitter. It'll have a link to it there. It's at MRN Radio to see what we did this morning, and we're going to continue to do in the future. Meantime, use that hashtag NASCAR Tailgate at MRN Radio and show us what your pre-race party is looking like as we get set for the Geico 500. Right now, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Getting set for the Geico 500 from Talladega Superspeedway. Take a quick time out here. When we come back, we'll review what happened last week at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Summer's here, and it's time to enjoy the season. That means it's time to feed your yard with Scott's. It's easy to help your lawn stand up to summer's wear and tear, to keep it lush and green and help prevent those brown spots. It's time to get outside and enjoy every day. And Scott's has got you covered, because even though this summer may feel different, the best things never change. So let's get to it. It's time to enjoy your yard. Scott's. It's good out here.
Now we're easy top 10 car.
Before you dive into the race weekend, get up to speed with MRN Out Loud.
That is what makes an extraordinary team.
I'm Woody Kane, inviting you to join me every Thursday as we talk to NASCAR drivers and crew chiefs about the coming weekend's race.
There's a lot that we've been working on.
And let you know when and where to hear MRN's coverage from the track.
It's one of the older race surfaces we go to.
Gear up for the race when you catch MRN Out Loud, streaming every Thursday at MRN.com or wherever great podcasts are found. The guys were talking earlier about race speeds we might see today. How about this? Back in 1987, the average qualifying speed, 212.8 miles per hour. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There, you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. Take down the number now for the Federal Tax Management Hotline, 800-242-1706, 800-242-1706.
The NASCAR Cup Series is in Talladega, and this is NASCAR Live Race Day. Brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com.
You know, if you're not, you should be joining us on the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for NASCAR Live. That's when we feature Backtracks, has the best of the in-car audio from the drivers married with MRN's radio calls. Last week's edition was from Homestead Miami Speedway.
Well, make no mistake about it, there is weather in the area. We can see it clearly from the broadcast booth.
1-2, Lambert, you're hearing that about sprinkles, right? Yeah, you can see it inching its way this way. You got anybody on the box that may scan the MRN, they'll be the first to know it.
Field at control, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, on top of the flag stand. He puts the green flag out, and the Dixie Vodka 400 is underway.
Be ready? Ready. Green, green, green.
Nobody gets the break on the entry to turn number 1. Now Logano begins to creep away by about a half the car length on the inside. Joey Logano to the lead as they hit the back straightaway.
Bumper, still barely there, so he's still there. Brad's got his quarter, though. You're clear by half. Clear. Brad's coming to you on the bottom.
And we're going to go under the caution flag. It is because there was a lightning strike within 10 miles.
All right, huge lightning bolt on the backstretch, really close this time. I don't know if it's going to get all the way here. It might get 1 and 2 a little bit here, but I want to get some shelter ready in the stall there if it starts coming down really hard.
Trouble off turn number 4. Ryan Newman has a problem. He'll spin to the bottom of the racetrack and immediately bring his car to the pit lane.
All right, you're straight right there. Okay, Carson is out. Put the tires, right side tires, or whatever's flat. Just whatever's flat, put the tires on it, and I'll go back out. Right rear went down going into 3 there. It never hit anything. Nothing ever hit him. It hit me, just so you know.
The number of drivers that were pitting further back over in front of Steve Post really got knotted up as they were trying to get out of pit road.
Steve Post, it looks like Kevin Harvick has come back in.
Yeah, I think a little damage from what you guys talked about. They dusted up that car, bounced off someone, crew to the right rear of that automobile now.
Timmy, that was bull. That's NASCAR's fault. You can't just say we're going 1 to go in open pit road. That's stupid. And they checked up, and I looked up, and it was like, uh-oh. Pushed in. Kyle said it's pushed in the lower part. He's not sure if it's going to be all right or not.
Joey Logano, I see you following him back down pit road, Alex Hayden.
Well, he had an extended stay down there.
So I had a hole somewhere to split our team apart, or what do we have? Can't find anything. There's nothing wrong with it? Oh, I couldn't find anything. Some bare bottom stuff on it just because it's weak in that area, just stiffen it up. Made sure the hood was sealed up good there. Then got another adjustment on it.
Well, the story on Jimmy Johnson is, and you're right, it's been the grip has been a problem with him. The car's not been really gripping the racetrack, but he's also had a problem with one of the roof flaps on the roof of the car, and these are safety precaution elements on these cars.
Is this thing up again? I'm up to this junk all of a sudden.
Yeah, man, it seems to be. It is, which is obviously the problem. All I can say is just be patient with it. Don't overdrive it. Put yourself in a bad spot. Just be smart, be smooth with it. And we'll do what we can when we pit. Got 20 to go.
Couple of cars getting together up in middle of turn number 1. One of them was Joey Logano. It may have been Ryan Newman, the other car.
Hey, what the do you expect? We're going to race. He goes in there and wrecks me. He did the same thing to the 4 3 laps ago. It's all good, buddy.
I got left front damage. I got him in the right rear.
Yeah, there is some right side damage on Ryan Newman's car.
Carson's out.
The right rear tire rope.
Copy.
Watch 22 here. Watch 22 coming back to you. Looks like he was having a hard time holding straight on the straightaway to me. Look at the nose and then the right rear quarter panel.
Left 206, Hamlin leads. Harvick is on pit road.
I have a flat here. I got a flag coming this time.
Checkered flag in the air. Denny Hamlin wins the Dixie Vodka 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Hell yeah, fellas. Welcome back, Gabehart. Great job, DH. Nice little 60-pointer right there. Way to rebound, boys. You damn right. That's a championship race team right there. Hell of a day. 10-4, man. Way to go.
Denny Hamlin from last week at Homestead Miami Speedway. In our Backtracks segment, you can catch those every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on NASCAR Live. How about this for Denny Hamlin? He's won 5 of the last 17 races, a 29% win clip for Denny Hamlin. He's got a special paint scheme as well today. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Take a quick time out. When we come back, your chance to talk with Rusty Wallace in our 2 for Rusty segment.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement, where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Behind the lasagna, it's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
For more than 80 years, Detroit Diesel has been the legendary driving force powering Freightliner and Western Star trucks across North America. Through our state-of-the-art Detroit technologies and components and safety systems, we've earned our customers' trust as a reliable business partner dedicated to improving their bottom line. It's no wonder they continue to depend on Detroit to keep them safe and efficient on the road. When you demand it all, demand Detroit.
Under a lightning delay at Talladega Superspeedway, we'll get back to action here shortly. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey, this is Bubba Wallace, driver of the number 43 Victory Junction Chevrolet Camaro. Victory Junction is a year-round camp for children living with serious and chronic medical conditions. Each year, nearly 10,000 children and their families get the chance to play, laugh, and do things they never thought possible at Victory Junction at no cost. You can make a difference in a child's life and feel your heart race. Support Victory Junction by texting BUBBA to 36413 or donating online at victoryjunction.org/donate now.
Check out MRN.com for a podcast series called The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. 25 years and still trucking. We'll take you back to some great races.
Here they come. They're crashing in the back at the line. Mike Skinner wins it.
Some wild moments.
Brendan Gaughan gets turned around and slams hard into the inside retaining wall.
And the stories that go with them.
We lost the championship, but there was a lot of ugly things that went on behind the scenes. Ended a lot of friendships, actually, to this day.
Download the shows for free on iTunes and at MRN.com. The NASCAR Cup Series is in Talladega, and this is NASCAR Live Race Day. Brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com.
We've had some lightning in the area around Talladega Superspeedway, so we're waiting that out. But it gives us an opportunity to give you a listen, let you have a listen to Two with Rusty, a segment where you get to ask questions of the NASCAR Hall of Famer.
Rusty Wallace going back to victory lane at Martinsville.
How well do you know NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace?
Rusty Wallace is the 1989 Winston Cup champion.
An unfiltered, unbiased opinion on topics that burn in NASCAR Nation.
Man, if I would have done that back then, I'd have blew a lot of stuff up. I'd have had problems, you know.
From the ever-changing landscape of the sport to random facts about the NASCAR Hall of Famer.
I'm not a good golfer at all.
It's Two with Rusty, only on the Motor Racing Network.
Welcome to Two with Rusty, your chance to get to know the 1989 NASCAR Premier Series champion, Rusty Wallace. I'm Jeff Striegel, joined by the man who has 55 Cup Career Series wins, and of course, we encourage you to join us. You can send your questions to us via our Twitter at MRN Radio using the hashtag AskMRN, or you can also call your questions in. You can do that by calling 1-844-4ASK-MRN. That's 1-844-4ASK-MRN.
Yes, good afternoon, Motor Racing Network. My name is Malcolm from Ohio, Northwest Ohio. I wanted to ask 89 Winston Cup champion if Rusty Wallace is a licensed pilot, and if he is, what is his favorite aircraft to fly? Thank you, MRN, for the question.
I got my pilot's license all the way back in 1984, but then I just kept flying and flying, and I got my instrument rating, my single-engine instrument rating, then I got my twin-engine instrument rating. Then I got jet rated, and when it was all said and done after I sold the Learjet, I have accumulated close to 12,000 hours of flight time. Almost all the success that we've had in flying to my buddy Bill Brooks. Bill spent 3 stints of Vietnam, just a great guy, super smart guy. After we sold the Lear, Bill went on to fly helicopters for Roger Penske, and just a wonderful man who taught me a lot. But, yeah, I got my license all the way back in 84, but really didn't get, my instrument jet ready until a little later after that. But still, I've got to say my favorite aircraft to fly was the Lear 31A. I bought that airplane in 1998 and flew it clear to 2014, and I just loved that plane. I mean, that thing would go up to, it was certified to 51,000 foot, but I flew it routinely at 45,000, mostly 45, 43,000, but man, it was fast, easy to handle, great handling airplane. I always felt real safe and in control. I got around a lot of weather, got on top of weather, had real good equipment in it, but yeah, there came a point in my life that when I quit driving and quit doing television and stuff like that, I just didn't need it. So I sold the airplane, but I've been an airplane junkie. I've had several in the past. I currently have a King Air F90 that I fly, but yeah, that was probably my best. That was an amazing airplane.
Hi, this is for Rusty Wallace and the 2 for Rusty. I just wanted to talk about the 1989 Winston. Did you ever choke on that $200,000?
That race in '89 at the Winston when we had the big crash, me and Darrell, I won that race and I got over 200,000. He says 200,000, and by the way, I did not choke on that 200, but I really think it was $250,000 we ended up getting. But after it was all said and done, a week passed, and I remember me and Darrell sat down and talked a little bit. And it's amazing in NASCAR. You better get over it real fast, or you're going to have a problem. Literally in 1 week, we both got over that, and I'm happy to say that right now, him and I are pretty doggone good friends. We really are. He's a good guy, and we had a tough time back then, but we mended fences pretty quickly.
I just hope he chokes on that 200,000. That's all I can tell him.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of 2 with Rusty. That's the 1989 Cup champion Rusty Wallace. And again, as a reminder, if you have a question for 2 with Rusty, you can chime in on Twitter at MRN Radio using the hashtag AskMRN, or you can call your question in at 1-844-4-ASK-MRN. It's 2 with NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace, only on the Motor Racing Network.
To ask a question for upcoming 2 with Rusty segments, join the conversation on Twitter at MRN Radio using the hashtag AskMRN. If you'd like to call in a question,
my question was for Rusty Wallace.
Use the MRN hotline at 1-844-4-ASK-MRN.
Just want to ask Rusty, on the days back when he was driving the Kodiak car.
It's 2 with Rusty, only on the Motor Racing Network.
Rusty has a lot of fun answering those questions. We had a couple come in during that segment. Make sure you play along with us as well, and Rusty might answer your question next time. Another time out here on NASCAR Live Race Day. When we come back, we'll head upstairs to the booth and let those guys update us on what's happening trackside as we close in on the Geico 500.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data from the MPD Group Incorporated, Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
Hey, NASCAR fans, this is NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace. There are only a few days left to enter to win a one-of-a-kind 2020 Toyota Camry TRD at NASCARFoundation.org/car giveaway and help children in need. This championship edition Camry celebrates Toyota's 2019 NASCAR Cup Series title. Just donate $25 to the NASCAR Foundation for your chance to win. Go to NASCARFoundation.org/car giveaway. That's NASCARFoundation.org/car giveaway.
NASCAR Live Race Day has been presented by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The NASCAR season is back. Hi, this is Jeff Striegel. We're headed back to the track, and while fans won't be with us in person, the Motor Racing Network is setting up a virtual tailgate party. Tweet us pictures or videos of your race day setup with the hashtag NASCAR Tailgate. Find us on Twitter at MRN Radio using the hashtag NASCAR Tailgate. We may feature your tailgate on upcoming MRN programs. Be a part of NASCAR's tailgate party on the Motor Racing Network.
When you're on the go, missing the side-by-side action at the racetrack isn't a problem.
Here comes Logano on the high side. He drives it deep into turn number 2.
Motor Racing Network brings the NASCAR race to you, wherever you are, so you don't miss one lap of the excitement.
Denny Hamlin has won the 61st edition of the Daytona 500.
You are the man, D8.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Live on the Motor Racing Network, it's the NASCAR Cup Series.
Get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race start today, pal. Oh, boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the Geico 500. Sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. By Blue Green Vacations. Discover a better way to vacation with Blue Green Vacations, the official vacation ownership provider of NASCAR. By Freightliner Trucks. By Geico. Learn more about Geico's 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies at geico.com/giveback. By Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, the official pain relief cream of the Motor Racing Network. It works fast, and you won't stink. By O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. By Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. By Scott's Miracle Grow, summer is your season. Time to enjoy it. Scott's, it's good out here. By Sunoco, fill up with high-quality Sunoco Ultratech fuels today. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. And by Xfinity. Xfinity, internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, unfortunately, there's been some lightning in the area. So with more on that, let's head upstairs to the gentleman who will guide us through this afternoon's Geico 500, Alex Hayden and Jeff Striegel.
Yes, lightning and rain. Back to you, Woody.
Back to you, Biff. I got nothing.
Yeah, we understand. Woody, thank you very much. The NASCAR Today pre-race show, Woody Kane at the controls. Thank you, Woody. I wish that Alex and I were going to take it from here for right up in 188 laps, but that's not going to happen yet. Where do you want to start? We could start with rain. We could start with lightning. We could start, and we'll come back to and talking about the waves that are now making their way down towards turn number 1. Those are good reasons that we wouldn't be able to race right now, but perhaps the even bigger reason is what happened to turns 3 and 4.
Well, yeah, we're fairly certain it's still over there, but there's such heavy rain, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and then there is a pretty significant thunderstorm overhead of the Talladega Superspeedway. From our vantage point here, high atop the tri-oval, just at the exit of pit road, you cannot see turns 3 and 4 because the rain is that heavy. Not an exaggeration. The wind continues to whip from turn 4 across the infield towards turns 1 and 2. You mentioned the waves. Not an exaggeration either. It's raining sideways. All the water down there on the apron just past the start-finish line to our right the wind is blowing it in waves down towards the banking of turn number 1. It's a significant storm, but we all have access to the radar, and we're looking at it, and there's a break coming. The problem here at Talladega Super Speedway in this vast 2.66 mile racetrack, there are no light